Philippa Bagley, emotional change therapist and mental health first aider. Today we're talking about 14 easy habits that will build your mental strength. So these are kind of broken into three different stages. So the three sections are, first one, we're looking at gaining wisdom. Second one is interacting with others. And the third one is just other mental habits in general. So number one, from a gaining wisdom point of view, why is this important? Mental strength is basically your mind's ability to keep working towards your goals, no matter what obstacles are in the way. And it's also a set of skills that you can develop with practice. I was in the military, and obviously you go through some quite robust training to make sure that you're fit to serve. I wouldn't recommend everyone doing that. So there are other less extreme ways of building your mental strength. And of course, just because you're physically fit doesn't mean you're mentally fit as well. So there's lots of things to consider. So the first one, as I said, is gaining wisdom. And what that means is, first of all, following your curiosity, follow your interests, approach each day with a new sense of adventure, welcome new experiences. See each challenge as an opportunity, not as a threat to be overcome or something to worry about. Number two is continued learning. So this is something that I really am passionate about, but commit yourself to lifelong learning. You can sign up to adult education. You can go onto YouTube, to TikTok these days. I use Duolingo to keep my languages going. Read a different book each week or attend lectures at museums and universities. Like, learning doesn't have to be this formal structured thing. And because of the internet, we have such a marvelous opportunity to learn so much more. So explore what interests you. And, I live in a really remote area, but I can commute to Bristol or Birmingham in the UK within, an hour, 2 hours to attend lectures there if I want to. So be creative around where you get those learning opportunities from. Number three really is indulge your creativity. I think during the pandemic, many people rediscovered the joys of arts and crafts, of just taking time out, of adult colouring books. They're massive, but there's a reason for that. We spend so much of our time now as adults delivering work in some way, and a lot of professions we go into can be quite stifling for your inner creativity. So decorate cakes, knit a sweater, make crafts with your children, or if you have no children, with your adult friends who also like making crafts. Develop mindfulness. So this is one which mindfulness is obviously quite a big thing currently, but actually it might amaze you to learn that the ancient Greeks considered mindfulness a thing. The ancient Greeks talked about that harmony of mind, body and spirit, which is basically what mindfulness is now. It's finding that calm, focusing on one activity at a time, living in the present moment. So we talk about it like it's a new thing, but actually it's been around for literally thousands of years. Then interacting with others. Again, I'm more introverted in actual fact than an extrovert. But even introverts during the pandemic probably learned that we weren't hermits, right? I was lucky I had my husband around, but I know many friends who thought, oh yeah, this is great. So they found that actually, after a while, being on your own isn't quite as cool as you'd think it would be. So interacting with others is another big way of building your mental strength. One of those things you can do is cultivate gratitude. So think about the things you receive from those around you, just a kind word, a little chat in your daytime. Think bigger. Think about teachers who taught you the things that you love, farmers who grow your food. I recently watched this video on YouTube, and it was of some tribal men from Pakistan, and they were trying cheesecake for the first time. And the thing that really struck me about it was the gratitude they showed for the bakers of the cheesecake, for the people who'd brought them this cheesecake to try it. And I think, we take a lot of things for granted. And when you start taking that step back and going, well, actually, someone spent time doing this, and it's a great outcome. And I personally love cheesecake. But I don't know that I'd ever think of thanking the person who made the cheesecake. So that was a really good lesson from, some people who never had cheesecake before. So really cultivate gratitude in your life. Some people list the blessings they have in their life and recognize how much they have in comparison to others. And I think with the current climate, sometimes it's good to take a step back and go, yes, I've got all this bad stuff over here, but I still have this, and finding the good in everything. Next one, I've lost count of numbers now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 6, show respect. I think it's easy to honour the value of life when you appreciate how closely we are connected. And again, I'd like to think that from the pandemic, we've learned that we are only one step away from each other when all is said and done. And there were so many instances of people being kind to others and showing them respect. But do we do it we're really good in a crisis. Do we do that every day? So if you can find a way of doing that every day, I think you'll start to see a difference in the way you view your world and how you feel about life. And be kind, number 7. No matter how strong we are, stuff goes wrong. So be kind to yourself and be kind to others when this happens and during difficult times. Because people are more likely to return the favour as well if they remember you being kind to others. And I always personally think that even if I've been really badly wronged by somebody, and there's been time in my life when things have been hard, nothing is gained by carrying resentment around. I even find now, this is just me being weird, but if I watch like a TV program and it's full of angry people, like I almost can't watch it. I just can't take that level of anger anymore. I'm like, why would you be so angry about things? There's always a way of being kind, and I do think that kindness wins overall. There'll always be 1 or 2 people who exploit situations, but don't focus on them. Focus on the good people. Give generously, so share your time, your talents, and your wealth with others. I don't mean if give away all your money if you haven't got much, but time is the most valuable thing we have when all is said and done. And you'll just feel richer and experience more joy and satisfaction. If you volunteer in your community, give your friends and family random gifts, support local causes, whatever makes a difference to you, but it makes you think differently. And this is a really important one, practice forgiveness. So letting go of resentment just frees up your energy so much. There's nothing, and again, I've said this just a moment ago, there's nothing to be gained by carrying resentment and anger around. And it's not always easy. I have a lady one of my clients who had a bad breakup, and she's part of the process we went through was actually finding that forgiveness. And it's often about forgiving yourself as well. If you can't forgive yourself, how can you forgive others? So practice forgiveness every day. And then sort of other mental habits that can make a difference to your mental strength. So muster up your courage. If you're getting uncomfortable in life, that probably means you're growing, but that in itself takes courage. And also give yourself credit when you try something, even if it doesn't work, because at least you had the courage to try and to recognize where it can go further, but you might come again with better learnings next time. And just keep on the fact that growing stronger requires taking risks. So you want to be mentally strong. There is some risk to that. It doesn't happen overnight. It could even be just things of trying a new sport or doing a speech in public. These are all things that require great courage, but the more you do it, the stronger you get. Focus on integrity. So align your actions with your values. Particularly for someone in business, people eventually see through people who aren't genuine. And so you've got to think about the long-term consequences of the decisions you make. But also, are you allocating time in your life for things that serves your purpose in life? Next one is kind of tolerate discomfort. And what I mean by that is going back to your courage piece. If you want to grow, if you want to become more resilient, there has to be a certain amount of discomfort. Because uncertainty and setbacks are a part of life. And if you avoid them, then you'll never move forward. Think about, the pain you have in your current situation, if there is pain, and think about the other side of that when you've gone through it. There will be some discomfort, but the other side is what you're focusing on to get to that stage. The second to last one, it's probably quite a controversial one, but it's delay gratification. There are studies that show that impulse control is one of the most important skills associated with happiness and high achievement. So what that means is those who can learn to not want everything straight away, have everything straight away, even for not eating the cake now. Eat the cake later on. Eat the cake after you've gone for a run. The secret is to distract yourself from the temptation so you can put them in perspective. And you might find if you delay eating the cake now, when you come to eat it later on, you don't want it, if that's something that is important to you. And the last one is hope. And there's always hope. But whether you feel strong or weak today, better things are in store for tomorrow. So always remind yourself that there is hope for tomorrow.